Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about how I made over 100K annually my first year after graduating college with my environmental science degree. So I think it's pretty well known that environmental science is not the most lucrative field. However, it is one of the most diverse fields. And when I was in college, I remember I was doing like a lot of research trying to figure out like how I could potentially make more money with limited experience and just starting out. Really, I was just shooting for over like 50K a year. But I think anybody who's familiar with environmental science knows how competitive the jobs are and how the starting salary for most of these jobs are not good. They're really bad, actually. All right, so before I tell you guys what the job title is and what I had to do to acquire the job and what I had to do within the job to make that much money, I think it's really important that I talk about my education background and also my limited experience before, because I just want you guys to use that as like comparative purposes. And at the very end of the video, I'll kind of talk about like a fast track way that I think that you could probably get this job and make this much money, if not more money, without a degree in environmental science to begin with. But this is my path, my journey, and I feel like that's the best way to tell this story. So I went to Texas A&M University at the Corpus Christi location, and my major was obviously environmental science with a minor in geology. So la 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 la, I graduated with my bachelor's of science degree, and I actually went to Colorado State University to pursue a graduate program. However, things weren't what they seemed, and for financial reasons and other reasons, I had to withdraw from that program, but ended up working out for me for the better, because then that's when I decided to pursue an actual career. I wanted some career experience. I was like, all right, it's time for me to get into the workforce. So that wraps up my education journey. So let's talk about some of the work experiences I had. So leading up to my bachelor's of science degree, I was volunteering at the Texas Sea Life Center, where we did a lot of rehabilitation of local wildlife. So that was a really cool experience. And then also I was working with a lot of different graduate students on their own unique projects. So that includes microplastic research, bioaccumulation models, and then even when I went to Colorado State, I was helping another graduate student, and she was working on researching pollinators in national parks. So that was a really cool experience as well. So here I am, jobless, applying to every place you could possibly imagine, really trying to use my degree. I really wanted to get in the workforce so bad, but again, jobs are competitive, and I was having no luck until finally I don't even remember this. I don't even remember applying to this place. I guess it was like some third-party recruiting company, but they called me to set up an interview for an environmental consulting firm, okay? Again, since it was a third-party company recruiting me, they didn't know much about the position, so therefore I didn't know much about the position because I don't even remember applying for the position. So anyways, I pull up and I'm wearing my cutest business casual outfit that I have, of course, and I am just going in there with a smile, a positive attitude, and my idea was just to say yes to everything because I didn't even know what I was getting into, and I really wanted a job. I wanted a professional job. So, of course, they're asking me every question imaginable about everything I just told you guys, my education, my experience, and whatnot. So, one question in particular they asked me, they were like, so, why did you apply to this job? What are you looking for? And since I don't really know what job I'm applying for, I'm like, but I was completely honest with them. I think I told them something vague like a natural resource manager. But the truth of the matter is, I told them, I was like, look, I'm in this secondary phase of my life where I'm looking for a career and I'm willing to work for it. Anyways, long story short, they hired me on the spot and they basically told me, they were like, we'll hire you at the rate of 24 an hour and you'll be working in the construction services department of this environmental consulting firm and you have to be willing to travel. So, of course, I said yes to everything and asked questions later. So I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, okay, well, 24 an hour is not 100K a year and over. And I know that. It's probably around like 65 to 70 with all the overtime that you end up getting from this type of job. Now, let me tell you what they hired me as. They hired me as an environmental technician, one. But I was not doing that, okay? I held so many different job titles within this one job. It was crazy, okay? I was a construction manager at one point. I was a health and safety officer supervisor. I was a nuclear gauge operator. What else? That's all I can think about right now. But it was really crazy because I was willing to learn anything and I kept that positive attitude up here this whole time. I did not say no to anything. I traveled wherever they wanted me to travel to. I did anything it took, okay? I went home that day more anxious than I've ever been about anything in my life because I'm like, what did I just get myself into? But I looked in the mirror, I said, Danny, you are going to say yes to everything. You are going to do whatever it takes to work your way up the ladder, do whatever it takes to get in their good graces and to make that money. For me, 24 hours is crazy. That's crazy for me, okay? But the thing is that I didn't even know what that potential was like until I started saying yes to everything. So I mentioned to you guys all the job titles I held, right? So one of these jobs should really stick out to you because that was the huge moneymaker, okay? It was the nuclear gauge operator. And you can actually get your own certification online. I think it's like only $129 for the course, okay? So just by having that, you really set yourself apart from other candidates and you can guarantee certain positions because they're always looking for this specific type of job because who thinks of that? Who knows what that is, okay? And so, yeah, let's talk about what a nuclear gauge operator is. You basically have this heavy machine with a little radiation thingy on it, right? And you hammer it into the ground on a construction site. And you basically read off the moisture and density readings that it'll give you based off of its own technology, okay? But then you use your own like educational inferencing to then formulate an opinion how well the construction workers did their job. So that's when it becomes tough because you need to be confident and sure in your answer and yourself that you're giving them the right analysis, right? Because these people have been doing this for decades. You know, these people, these construction managers, these really big, scary people sometimes, you know, that's like their pride and joy. That's their own hard work. You know, you're telling them that they did it wrong or they did it right. So it can have a lot of pressure. You know, they're staring at you, they're potentially yelling at you. I definitely had a little bit of bickering, a little bit of fights with some of the managers on site, but that's just like a part of the job. And the job is not easy. You're doing long hours, you're in the sun during those long hours, you're working with really interesting personalities. I always called it dynamic relationships, and I always asked the question to everybody on site. I was like, how do you guys handle these dynamic relationships? Because I just needed as much advice as I can get in order to survive the journey and do well at my job. And for some reason, I was excelling at it, which is really cool. However, emotionally and physically, I was having a really hard time keeping up with it all. So for me, this ended up not being like a long-term position, okay? I ended up quitting this year. Also, remember what I said about all the traveling? So they had me on like this Canadian upstate New York island thing doing like horizontal directional drilling of some sort. What? They had me in California, which is where the big bucks are when you're a nuclear gauge operator, because they paid me 55 an hour. And California has unique labor laws that made me making so much money. I'm not kidding you when I tell you some days I was making $1,000 a day. So, with that being said, you have the potential to make 250,000 a year. That's a quarter million a year. You know, but like I said, it was really physically and emotionally and mentally demanding for me. So I like kind of withdrew. I couldn't do it. I couldn't cut it out. But if you want the hustle and you want that money, you just gotta work for it. It's there. It's really there. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is not an easy job, but it's definitely lucrative. And it was huge. It was huge for my bank account. I have never seen that much money in my life. I thought the 24 an hours was crazy. Making $1,000 a day, I mean, there's a lot I would do. There's a lot of work that I would do for $1,000 a day. Let me just tell you that right now. You know, it's just like it's just one of those things. You know, if you want to hustle, you want to make that money, it's out there. You can do it. And like I said, I don't even know if you need the degree because yes, I had the degree, but to be an environmental technician as like my base title, and then I went and I got that certification for the nuclear gauge operator. I feel like you really just need the nuclear gauge operator because you don't need a degree to be an environmental technician, right? But you need the certification to be a nuclear gauge operator. And now I'm sharing it with you guys, and maybe somebody can take advantage of this. Maybe somebody's about the hustle and they're gonna spend like a year or two, maybe 3 years, making a $250,000 a year and like do something else with that money, do something bigger and better with it, you know? Or maybe you wanna be doing this for like a decade and become a literal millionaire that way, which is possible. It's literally possible. I'm not making up these numbers. I promise you. I will not be sitting here with my stupid little mic coming on here talking bullshit to you guys. Like, this is real. It's real. So we're going to just have like a quick summary. So yes, I had my degree, but I don't think you need it. You do need your certification though, your nuclear gauge operator certification, your hazmat, whatever, that basic safety stuff, $129 max. You can find it online. You need confidence. You need to say yes to everything. I would say that this job is particularly good for people that are younger who don't have like these set responsibilities. Like I have one responsibility. I think he's over here somewhere. See, I have this responsibility. So lucky enough, I had a partner who is home and was able to hold down the fort for me while I was going out and about to Canada, California. But yeah, if you're good at advocating for yourself, you have a positive attitude, you're willing to work, you can make so much money in that industry. I could not handle it. So we ended on good terms. You know, I could always go back if I'm really desperate, but I don't want to go back. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I wish all of you guys so much luck out there because I know that is hard. It's hard to be scrappy out here. So I wish you the best, and I really hope that you guys can land some cool jobs. Maybe not this job, right? Maybe you guys can make money other ways, but if you are looking for a lot of money, fast money, good money, you know, I'm giving you guys that option. Here you go. Anyways, like I said, good luck to all of you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.